Language reflects the life of humanity. This is why it is part of the work we want to do with children. Language is a means of development for the child. Language allows us to express thoughts. Even the child of 18 months who may only use a word or syllable is expressing thought. This is courgette. Where's the ginger? Can you give me ginger? Thank you. The young children are putting the experiences into patterns and building expectations. The children enjoy rhyming. Can you smell the celeriac? From the beginning, language was a function of cooperation. The language allows us to name our explorations, to make discoveries and communicate them with others. Can you feel the smooth skin? Smooth. The language as a richness of vocabulary helps us to go into tiny details and make a picture or a feeling come alive. We cannot convey something if we do not have the language to name, think and express. In the first plane of the development, the task of the child is the construction of the individual. The child is well equipped for individual exploration through movement and manipulation. The child is curious to explore a larger social environment. The hands are ready to extend their capacity to be the tools of the mind. The child extends her vocabulary and acquires more versatility of expression. The child discovers that the language has visible form. Words are made of sounds and sounds can be made visible. These visible sounds can be put together to form words and words can be put together to form ideas. Spoken language is the first focus of our work in the Casa, and the foundations of this spoken language we then help the child discover the power of written language as a means of communication. Writing and reading in the Casa are the consequences of activities designed to meet the developmental needs of the child. We are working with metal insets preparing the hand for writing. The child needs to strengthen the hand and we need to give manipulation and control of movements of the hand. The movement is an expression of our inner self. Handwriting is another example of expression of ourselves. The transition to writing independently on paper is a process. We guide the child through this process by isolating the difficulties and gradually increasing the challenge. How amazing! When given at the right time in the proper sequence, the process is inviting and fun for children.
I spy something with my eyes that starts with R. Pig. Pig.
Horse. Dog.
Thank you.
The children love the idea of the games. The games are part of everyone's culture. Wordplay is a type of linguistic humour. The work starts in the Casa with the enrichment of vocabulary and language training, where the children start building awareness about the sounds and corresponding written signs to write them. We have sound games and use sandpaper letters to represent those sounds.
Can anyone see anything on my tray that starts with T?
Dog.
So you can find something in the room that starts with A. I.
The children get experience in constructing words using the movable alphabet. Many children who are able to move to the next plane are able to read and write on a basic level. The characteristics of the child change over time. Children moving to the second plane of development begin to stretch their intellect. The children in the elementary need to learn how to use many tools, not just pen and paper or a keyboard. Writing is a very personal expression. Therefore, we focus on how to foster free expression and creativity early on, and we use all kinds of handwork. Our goal in the elementary is to support children in writing words and stories as quickly as possible. To achieve a good flow and speed, we start with cursive. We show the elementary children many different types of alphabets and styles of writing. The child discovers that many letters start the same way and can be sorted the way they begin.
Казвам и трябва да ми кажеш какъв е втория. Сърна.
In the elementary class, reading and writing are presented together because we can change the child's reasoning mind to help them think as alphabet creator, not just an alphabet learner. It is the oral language activities for the exploration of sounds that lead the child to the fundamental discovery that language is a make of discrete sounds. The preparation of the hand and mind are key. We give the children consciousness about the form of the letters and the movement of the hand for writing it. We engage the child's reasoning mind, giving more to think about by using the oral language. We're telling stories about styles of handwriting and calligraphy. We borrow the language of myth and fairy tale to set the imagination on fire. Because all disciplines are naturally integrated and the curriculum is not linear, the child is given many opportunities for creative and personal expression. The children move freely between disciplines and discover the links between them. Humour, like language, is a unique human activity. Language evolved to describe reality, both external and internal, but humour plays with that reality. Playing with reality through the language seems to be an important part of cognitive development. This requires imagination.
Can you notice what your mouth is doing? Your mouth is going in a big round circle, isn't it?
Our ability to think metaphorically or symbolically, or to transfer information easily from one cognitive domain to another, constitutes a type of Big Bang of human culture.
What about Leia's name? Leia. You have an E and an A, but without the sinking vowel sounds, you just have L.
My name is
L.
Linguistic humour is a manifestation of a combination of communication, abstraction, order, and gregariousness. Our impressionistic approach is all about engaging the child's emotions as well as intellect. Storytelling of the truth is about truth in a dramatic, impressionistic way.
Мога без храна, мога без вода, но не мога без това чувство на пълнота. Можеш ли без да се движиш?
Work with poetry can also bring children in touch with wordplay and inspire the children to be creative themselves.
Ти можеш да отнемеш моята мечта. Ти можеш да отнемеш моята работа. Но, моля, не отнемай любимото ми куче.
Using the language, we can touch the senses to make the audience experience our observations, emotions, and mood. The children are interested in many different alphabets in the world.
Лили, как е?
Завъртулка. Ето К. Ще се пише така. Става ли?
Това е една буква на китайски.
Language supports the humans to express, communicate the explorations they have made, and to evolve in their understanding about the world. Inspired by the ancient cultures, the children connect the history of the evolution of written signs and language. They use their imagination for inventing their own alphabets. Exploring the language is never ending. We explore how the words are made, the way how the words cooperate with each other, the composition of sentences, different literature genres.
Ето ви е книжката.
By the study of words, we go into the deep nuances of the meaning and language comprehension. The exactness of sounds, the signs, the way how we manipulate words, the conventions about punctuation supports us to use clear language.
We need to put them here and to symbolize them.
Съществително, прилагателно, определителен член.
The true meaning of the language is in a relationship to the accurate and meaningful communication. Sometimes even changing the place of just one word could lead to a very different meaning. The same is valid for changing one sound or letter. That could lead to great misunderstandings.
А можем ли химикали?
Building awareness about how the language is built and mastering the use of the right words, voice and tone of language is related to the evolution of humans and civilization. For every part of speech we have oral introduction involving actions. We are telling stories about the symbols of the parts of speech. We present impressionistic charts. The key word is self-expression. What is language but the expression of our thoughts and ideas? If we have nothing to say, we have nothing to write. We may be more comfortable expressing ourselves orally, but whether we are writing, our personality comes through. In our choice of words, we also express ourselves.
Мога да живея без маркери, мога да живея без химикали, но не мога да живея без въздух.
We give names, we talk about etymology, we explore the prefixes, suffixes and sight words. We are discussing the compound words and word families. We are discussing the nuances and the meaning of the words and how some letters change. We are exploring the vocabulary and finding more words that have the same roots.
Farm, farmer, farming, and farmed changed. So, the root word is the same. Farm. The farmer is farming. Where? In the farm.
We use the meaning of language to share ideas, to set common rules, to share experiences, to tell stories, to sing songs. The language makes the social life possible.
What are suffixes? What are they? Letters. Where did I add them? At the end of the word. That's right. They changed the word.
Facts just by themselves are not as fascinating. The relationship between facts, the reason behind the functioning of the word and objects within it are of interest.
Какъв е този май?
И защо си го
На този клас.
The children play with ideas, ask questions. What if? What if instead of doing this, it did something else instead? Language is a tool for the imaginative exploration of the origins and the development of the child's own language. We want the children to come to realise that language carries with it a personal responsibility. Language is an expression of the spirit of the speaker. It is a reflection of that individual person. Language involves an I speaker. I am responsible for the words I speak. We want to bring to the child the idea that you do not say something before thinking about what you will say. We can use language to think in the mind before it comes out, either in spoken or written form. We give the child the idea that all of us have a responsibility to do this. We want the children to understand and appreciate the power of language, and that they can use this tool to express their own thoughts, their own emotions.
Can we do it with all the...
Yes, you can write a very long sentence and you can use all the orange arrows to analyze the sentence.
Dr. Montessori has committed to the idea of a peaceful world, and by this she did not mean a world purely devoid of war. But for that to happen, there must be a culture of peace. And a culture of peace needs a language of peace, a new type of shared understanding of the world for a new kind of community, a global community. Children need to become aware of virtues. They need to have a vocabulary of virtues, they need to discuss them, and they need to think by themselves and together of ways in which to show their qualities in everyday life. All aspects of our environment promote harmonious social relations. Our work aims to spark natural curiosity and encourages the children to follow their interests and personal passion by developing their talents and turning them into enviable academic knowledge, leadership skills, self-discipline, responsibility, independence and initiative. To fulfil our purpose, we are led by Montessori principles and practice, following the training and guidance of the Association Montessori Internationale. Learning to love, loving to learn.